Good morning. This is Greg from Willendorf. We're live at Kday. It's Saturday morning. Girls hockey is busy going at the moment. Seconds. Rugby's on the way on 15A. And the first team girls hockey game is about 30 minutes out from here. They're all a bit early this morning because of both teams got players leaving for provincial tournaments. Hence the game at 11 o'clock this morning. Morning's game, I'll be joined by Dave Wright. It's a busy umpiring game from DSG. He'll be coming up, who's coached the first team at DSG before as well. On Wednesday night, we had Chris Hibbett. Chris is coaching the DSG side this year. Very much anticipated match. No one knows where the odds are. I wouldn't bet on this game myself. I think both teams very much think they're going to win the game today. So maybe a draw is probably the right call. Looking forward to it. Should be a crack of a game.
What I'm saying is that you don't have to move up anything. Like, seems they forgot she was in foul.
Good morning and welcome to a warmish Grahamstown. It's Kday 2019, Kingswood's 125th Jubilee year. I'm Greg from Willendorf. I'm joined by Dave Wright from DSG. Dave, welcome.
Thanks. Good to be here. Like you said, nice and warm, a little bit windy and blustery. There was a little bit of action down there, but we are waiting for what is a Kday tradition. It's our grade 8 dance. I don't know.
Okay, Dave, let's stop right there. So there are a couple of questions that are unknown to mankind across the world. Who shot JFK? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Please tell me, what the hell is the funky chicken?
I'm not sure what the funky chicken is. The foxy.
Is that the foxy?
No, we have a foxy and a funky chicken. So the DSG grade 8s do a dance, and they call theirs the foxy. Kingswood do a dance. The grade 8s do a dance before the game, and theirs is called the funky chicken. I've been here for 15 years, and I inherited this when I arrived, so I really have no idea where this has come from. It used to be at halftime and ruined the halftime. We've got some management who have managed to get it before the game, which is much more sensible. So, yeah.
And it's a tradition that's going to stay forever, huh? It's hardcore and they actually enjoy it, huh?
Yeah, I think it's a good, clean tradition, so probably happy to have it around.
Getting on to the game, the girls obviously had a little bit of a warm-up earlier already. David, a lot of predictions about this game. I think the odds are terrible in everyone's favour. I would not bet on this game.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be betting on this game. It's, I think, going to be one of the closest Kday games we've had in years between the girls, which is fantastic. It really is two fantastic sides, and it's going to be a tight match.
I think it's quite interesting battles, aren't there? I think everyone kind of knows the Kingswood defence is a little bit vulnerable. DSG haven't scored a massive amount of goals. On the other side of the park, Kingswood going forward are very exciting, big goal scorers, but the DSG defence is rock solid as well. So they're the two interesting battles for the day.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, we've got the DSG side has Daisy Dixie and Nina Owen-Jones at the double centre back role, and they really are a formidable pair, both having represented or representing Eastern Province A side. And they're up against, like you said, a formidable midfield and forward lineup from the Kingswood side. I think all 6 of the forward players from Kingswood are in a provincial side. So, yeah, the Kingswood side going forward are potentially electric. And yeah, the back four, I think they're going to be tested today, and we'll see what the outcome is. But like you said earlier on, I definitely wouldn't like to put money on this game before we start.
I want to put a random thing. I tell you what, I think DSG's going to score in the first 5 minutes. And how Kingswood respond to that is going to be very interesting, because either we're going to have a 3-3 game. I think we're going to have a lot of goals. There's no ways. I don't think these two girls teams are not going to score. And I think I don't know. It's bizarre. I was chatting to someone this morning. They said, first person I chatted to said that Kingswood is going to win 5-2. And about fourth person I chatted to said that DSG is going to win 5-2. So, that gives you an interesting kind of scenario. So I'm going to go middle of the Brian's 3-3, 6 goals in the game. It's going to be a humdinger.
Yeah, I think there'll be goals. I think it's going to be 1-1 if I had to put my money anywhere. I think the hype of Kday, the big crowds, somehow, I don't know, people bring their game and it makes it more difficult to score. We haven't really had a big scoring Kday for years.
Far more importantly, Dave, you want to run through what's happening on the park right now?
It's really difficult to commentate on this, Greg. We have the DSG grade 8s running on to do their Foxy dance. What is interesting is there are hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And it'll be quite noticeable difference when Kingswood run on, just to compare the numbers. And I think that talks to the strength of the Kingswood program. The girls' numbers aren't nearly as big as DSG numbers, and here we are facing a titanic battle of hockey. So it is, I suppose, in a little way, a David versus Goliath scenario, really.
And very interesting. The first team goals 11 o'clock kickoff, and that's because a lot of the girls have to leave from the 18 RPT. Is that right?
That's correct. Only one DSG girl actually stood and is going to that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we have 7 Kingswood girls who are going to rush out of this game to shoot down and catch a flight up to Natal to play for either the EPA or B side.
That's incredible. I'll tell you, and then after this, how many games are left then?
There's really not much of a season left in terms of the sides. I think DSG are up for about another 4 or 5 games. I think Kingswood are probably only 3 or 4. So we really are nearing the end of the season. Both sides probably 20 odd games into the season.
And this morning's games, Dave, how have they been going?
Oh, just fun, eh? Really
Anyone got a few more wins on the other side, or not really?
I think DSG might have the upper hand. We just saw the second team game before here. DSG just failing to score, dominating the entire game. Numerous short corners, and really just couldn't put it away and left with a 0-0 draw. And just prior to that, I think it was the under-13As with Kingswood with a 2-1 win, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Charlie Pop would have enjoyed that as a coach. So we're running around here earlier. And Dave, your team, under-16As, when do they play?
Oh, interesting one. The under-16As after this. I'm coaching the DSG side, and interestingly, my wife is coaching the Kingswood side.
I was about to say, who coaches the Kingswood side? So that's going to be an interesting one.
So there might be a divorce after that game.
There might well be, actually.
But yeah, I think the DSG under-16 side is probably one of the best sides I've ever coached, if I must be honest. We 20-odd games into the season undefeated. That's
brilliant. I know there was a conversation I had earlier about the goalkeepers. DSG seem to have a lot of goalkeepers falling out of the trees at the moment. And I know Chris has often used a goalkeeper per half in the first team game. Is that right?
And he will be using the same approach again. We've got Sabine Renard and Nikki Furkes, 2 goalkeepers playing for him. It really has been difficult to split them, and they've essentially had a split season playing half-half.
And then your own goalkeeper, Cisne, is also provincial goalkeeper as well.
So the under-16 A goalkeeper also is playing for the provincial side. So Yeah, we do have a lot of goalkeepers. I'm not entirely sure whether it's because Chris Hibbert, with his goalkeeping pedigree,
Not
has
giving
turned
him any credit for that.
turned them into goalkeepers or not. I think the truth of the matter is he doesn't find enough time to get down and do goalkeeper training. But yeah, DSG are sitting in a space with some good goalkeepers. Historically, however, Kingswood is the side that have normally had fantastic goalkeepers in the girls' side of the game.
We're chatting with the guys just before we came on air, yeah. Kingswood side, it's a very exciting side. Amy Mills, Zanati Vinyana, Janet Daniels, all going forward players, scoring a lot of goals. I think that'll be one of the good tests for DSG defence. I think if those girls can handle the pressure as well. Also, this is unusual, eh? Girls playing in front of a crowd like this, yeah, they seem to struggle a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they don't quite... Not that they rise to the occasion, but they definitely find it's probably a little bit more intimidating. Yeah, I think girls historically struggle more from a fear of failure, which is probably accentuated with a big crowd.
Absolutely.
So, and I mean, if the cameras are panning around and having a look, I mean, the crowd is building already. Haven't quite started the game yet, and I don't know. If you had to guess, we probably had about 4,000 already. If I'm
incredible, absolutely incredible. Quite again a little bit rowdy already, which is great. End of the Foxy dance there, I think, for DSG. And then I know ex-Kingswood coach Ms. Yanamangi, if he was here, he would say that Zanati would score 5 goals by herself today. But I think they were saying she's been under the weather, but sick at the moment, struggling with flu, and so is Amy Mills. I know Chris Hibbert was saying a few of his players also a bit under the weather at the moment.
Yeah, Grahamstown has been plagued with a bit of a flu virus of late, and yeah, I think both sides have a few casualties. I think also important to mention that what is incredible with some of these Kingswood players is that literally a bucket load of them played in the first team netball game last night. So they've had a full-on hour contest the night before they're coming into this game. Zanati, Luca, Amy Mills were all in that contest last night.
So, can't be too sick then, can they?
Well, one wouldn't. Maybe Bevan Bennett's prepping us a little bit here for
a bit of unheaded tactics already. Bevan Bennett, obviously a massive experience there with Bevan. Interesting, Kingswood side probably a little bit erratic with form. They've had some great performances, but then at times maybe let themselves down a bit. Where I think maybe that might be the difference. DSG being a little bit more consistent. I know they haven't been as happy either with their consistency over the season, but I think they've been probably a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely argue that DSG has been the more consistent side. Yeah, I think prior to the game when I've been chatting to people, I've certainly said if Kingswood are on fire and have got their A game, they are going to be a difficult side to beat. But they have had an up and down. Certainly the early half of their season, they really did struggle to find some kind of regular play. But on this kind of back half, they really are starting to find their straps. Great win against GHS the other day. I think they put 7 away. And can't remember who it was prior to that. I think they had a 5-0 win. So certainly it's a side that can score goals. Make no mistake about that.
So they have scored a few goals. I know that's been one of their bugbears of the season, that they haven't scored as many as they want to. Going forward, the false 9, Torva, who the big goal scorers for DSG side at the moment?
So yeah, I think Torva's the game changer.
Yep.
Torva, if she's on point, can quite capably get a hat-trick out of this game. She does carry, and sometimes carries into contact, which could
be... a lot of speed, though.
With a lot of speed. So, yeah, I think if she can get the better of the 2 outside halves, yeah, that'd be exciting to watch her going forward. Enya Kemp, a little under 16 in the first team, incredible hands, also the ability to just turn a game on its head, also be playing up front. And we've got a little player, Juju Rogan, probably not the most orthodox player, but she's just an uncanny ability to be in the right place and get the right touch on the ball. So exciting to see them up front.
Well, that's it. I think the 2 battles in the D's, as maybe as cliched as it's going to be, but if the Kingswood defence can sustain those kind of attacks, and then likewise, I think there's a massive battle, equally maybe balanced on the other side with a really good defence versus a really exciting attack on the other side too. So who knows? I'm still going to go, there's plenty of goals here. I'm going 3-3.
Sticking with your goals, Greg. Sticking with your goals.
Bearing in mind, I think earlier this season, am I right in saying Kingswood are winning games like 9-8? Is that right?
I think some of that was last season, but yeah, I think they had a 9-8 score against St. Stithians, which I mean is absolutely unheard of in the game of hockey. Yeah, I think the other place where we're going to see an immense clash is in the midfield. It's two phenomenal midfield lineups, and it is going to be titanic. I know Bevan likes to stretch the game a little bit wider, and yeah, that might get him caught out with a DSG side leaving them a little bit of room to play in the middle. But make no mistake about it, it is 6 midfield players that will be on the park at any time who will rival some of the best in the country.
Should be a great game. We aren't too far away from it now. And yeah, maybe it's almost time to stop talking and see what the girls can do, I think.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, I'm hoping the crowd are enjoying some dancing here. We haven't really made much commentary on that. It's quite difficult to tell if it's good or bad from our point of view.
On purpose, I think. I think the girls love it, though. There's no way they're going to stop it.
Yeah, there's something very special about Kday. I mean, there are a lot of big boys derby matches around the country. You've got your Hilton Michael houses and so on. I think what's interesting about this is the co-ed dynamic and the number of crowds that pour out to see a girls' battle. Last night in the high performance centre at Kingswood, the netball, very well represented. There were thousands of people and an immense noise for netball, which is probably a sport that doesn't get a lot of profile. And now here we are for girls hockey with, again, thousands of people turning out to come and watch.
And DSG just snuck the win. It was a great match, wasn't it?
It was a fantastic match. DSG did sneak the win. They were level in the first quarter. DSG got ahead in the second. Kingswood brought it back in the third. And it was literally in the last quarter. It was level going into the last quarter. And DSG managed to have a run of 5 goals, which I think turned the game on its head.
Absolutely. Back to the hockey, yeah. Question for you, yeah. With the Kingswood defence being a little bit vulnerable, you're always tempted as a coach to maybe press very highly against them. But the girls' sides don't really distribute much around the outlets. So you just wait for the ball and try and turn over 23 in a normal 3-quarter press. What will you do, yeah, Dave?
Yeah, if it was me, I'd be doing a high left wing press and trying to put them on pressure and keep their head down and turn it over. What is nice in the game is we're starting to see more overheads from the girls coming out the back. I know DSG is starting to throw more and more out of their back. I'm not sure Kingswood are in that space yet. I
think it's really important. I think if they can't, I think the DSG girls might actually turn over little balls in some very dangerous areas here today. So I think that's going to be the trick. Can they keep composure at the back, not turn over ball top of the D, and get the ball through the midfield to the strikers? I know Amy Mills and Auntie Vignana, they're both starting in the midfield, do you think?
Certainly if Bevan's crib notes are to be believed, it does look like they will be starting in the midfield lineup. But you are 100% right. Kings was going to rely on getting the ball to that midfield to move it up the lines. And if they are pressed in at the back, and Chris Hibbert's tactic, no secret, he does like to press high and press aggressively. So I have no doubt Bevan's thought about that and will probably have something up his sleeve. But yeah, if they don't get it into that midfield for Kingswood, it is going to be difficult for them.
Absolutely. I think you might find that one or two ace up the sleeves there for Chris Hibbert might actually be the difference in the game. So we'll see how he goes. I think he'll be very well organised. They should be ready for this game, and I think that it might be the difference. A little bit more clinical on the day is what everyone's kind of saying. But with it all depends with those couple of handful of stars for Kingswood. It sounds like the DSG signs a more complete side. There's more players that are provincial standard, a couple of holes, and maybe in the Kingswood side that it might be a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, I think it is a more complete side. Certainly a side that they don't rely on stars. I mean, we have spoken about Torva carrying up front, but the rock solid Nina and Daisy at the back. But as a whole, they play as a unit. They're happy to distribute the ball anywhere in the park and are not looking to any single player to try and turn the game for them. And that certainly could count in their favour.
Chris Hibbert in the first 5-7 minutes, what's he looking for out of the game?
Always difficult to read Chris. He's normally pretty relaxed. He'll certainly be looking for complete passes. I know the team's been focusing that in the last couple of games, spending some of their stats time looking at completed passes. So they'll be looking to play player to player and to get the ball forward. He's going to look to take the game to Kingswood, I have no doubt.
So looking at Kingswood side, they're quite a relaxed group at the moment, dancing with their grade 8 girls, and that's a good sign. I think that looks like they seem to be dealing well with a bit of attention and the pressure of the crowds. So if they can take that kind of composure into the game, then the first 7 minutes they should be all good.
I mean, I think the Kingswood side, maybe they follow suit from their coach, who is a very relaxed coach on the side. Are looking relaxed, and I'm sure
Guys, we're tired now.
with some of those electric players. All ball carriers and carry at pace, so it might be quite interesting. And maybe the first 5 minutes might be almost too high a tempo for both sides. If they come out guns blazing, it might be the first side that sort of slows composure.
Well, hence the question about what Chris Perry would play the first 5 minutes. I think Devin Bennett's a little bit different. I think the first 5 minutes, he's not going to try and settle throw the ball. I think Devin will try and push very high, try and get an early shot and goal there. Just a different kind of style coaching. I think that's pretty good reason to try and get into DSG early as possible.
I would imagine that's his tactic. Take it to him. So here we go. We got the sides coming onto the park to warm up. I'm not entirely sure what the allocated warm up time is. Kingswood's a fantastic school, so it has an indoor HBC high performance centre where the girls have been able to do some warm up on an indoor court. But obviously they want to get out here. It'll be interesting to see what these conditions are like. This wind is a little bit bergy and dry, so this Astro might be a little bit sticky today, which might also change the game a bit.
It might well be. I think interesting to look at two umpires. We've got Gary Frame from St Andrews, and we've got Dean Pereira, I think, who's umpiring at the end. Two pretty calm, placid kind of umpires. No one gets really worked up or anything. And it's pretty easy for the players to understand what they want. They should both do a good job, won't they?
Yeah, I think two very experienced men, and like you said, both very cool, calm, and collected. Certainly not going to let any angst get to them. I mean, they're so cool. You might have to check that they have a heart rate sometimes. Gary Frame, very experienced, been in the game for many years, and Dean Ferreira, Batman as he goes by, is a postgrad road student. Been there for what most road students would describe
18 years, I think. Yeah,
1,000, I think it might be. Has played for the EP men's side.
I know Dean Ferreira, there's not much gets him too worked up. I don't think I've ever seen him in con, because there's probably too much effort to actually put his hand in his pocket and take something out there. So I don't think either of those guys will have any kind of influence on the game. I think they'll just call what they see and be very calm, and I think the players will probably enjoy that, I think.
The players will enjoy it, the crowds will enjoy it. As hockey connoisseurs, it's always nice to have some decent umpires who aren't trying to steal some limelight. They're just there to make sure the game goes ahead. So I have no doubt it's going to be well managed, and leave the focus of the day to the players.
We mentioned on Wednesday night, fitting in, Gary Frame's obviously moving off to Cape Town, so quite glad to see him umpiring on last Kday as well. Obviously a big loss to the Grahamstown community. We wish him well for his future endeavours.
Yeah, massive loss. Following his wife, who is taking over the headship at St Cyprian's, which is an exciting change and challenge for her. She's been at DSG now, I think she's 12 years into the job here, and will be her second headship at St Cyprian's. She's certainly changed the landscape of DSG.
Crowd's getting a bit rowdy on the bottom here at the moment. But in full song here, Dave. I think this is going to be a cracker. I think the crowd, they are going to love this game.
The crowds absolutely get full involved. I can already see some of the old girls getting involved down there. Really does draw quite a different spirit. Just fort has been left to me here. So we see the two sides warming up. DSG, just Chris Hibbert standard. A couple of the players running through some short corner routines, and you'll have a small-sided game going. Kingswood into an Aussie at the moment. Both sides just getting turned on. The clock suggests that there's 1 minute 40 left of game time.
Dave, we've got 4 chuckers. What are the girls doing?
My understanding before we start the game is that they're going to play 4 15s, which is potentially a little bit unusual. Most of the games this season have been 4 12s. I know both sides have arrived with pretty big squads, so it shouldn't be too much of a challenge. But both experienced coaches who do like to roll their bench, they not the old school of 11 start, 11 finish. So.
Trying to fit this on both sides, obviously pretty equal. I'm trying to think of the DSG squad that they've got here. It looks like a slightly bigger squad than the Kingswood squad. Yeah, I think that probably talked to you about the depth that we talked about earlier as well, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the depth in the numbers of the two schools. It is always going to be Kingswood's challenge, is finding that depth with the smaller numbers. I think their girls' numbers are 200 and DSG is at 420. I mean, it's a marked difference, double the size. So,
just watching the girls warming up the penalty corners at the moment. I think Kings are probably relying on Amy Mills. DSG, what are they looking at to convert penalty corners?
Yeah, I have no doubt the go-to is going to be the drag flick. But again, it might come down to those conditions we were talking about. If this turf is a little bit dry and sticky, they might have to move away from that. But they have relied on Torva. Not sure if you're seeing much camera action at the moment, but they're struggling a little bit there, so that might be a sticky turf.
Well, Robbie, I'm actually having a look at it as well. Injections not great at the moment either, but as Dave Wright said, possibly due to conditions on the turf. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. We're on far away now. Clock says 1 second. Team's getting ready into position. So looking forward to a great 2019 Kday. We made the call, Dave. I think there's goals. I think there's a goal in the first 5 minutes. Let's see. I think a goal in the first 5 minutes would set this game up brilliantly. The boys' game on we had to wait 3 chuckers to get a goal, and the whole game just changed. So hopefully a goal early just makes a better spectacle to watch.
A goal early would definitely be what we want. A couple of goals early would be even better. Great to see it go 1-1 in the first chucker and show both sides on full form. So
I hope we don't go 3-3 off the first chucker.
If they do go 3-3, I worry that your prediction might go out the window. Either that or we are in for less exciting 2, 3 and 4 chuckers.
Kings around the park. Their Kday, obviously a great highlight for the goals of the season. But the problem is trying to control that emotion, isn't it? That's such a difficult thing. That obviously add the pressure of the crowd, but also the emotion. Just playing in a Kday like this, it means a lot to both schools. And I think that's the test for the girls, isn't it? To try and just control that. Just be composed, be clinical, and not let the emotion get the best of them.
I do agree with you. I think the evolution of girls hockey recently, though, 10 years ago, the girls' first side would probably play a hockey season of maybe 15 games, maybe squeeze up towards 20. Besides now, kind of playing into the 30s, this is a lot of this now is just business as usual. Come out and do it again. Yeah, there is a big crowd, but I think they're both sides 20 games into the season and know what they're doing.
We go. We're counting down the seconds. Crowd's getting into the game. Both teams in position. Enjoy the Kday match.
All right, there we go. The pushback, and I think it's straight to Torvo, who looks to be playing at the centre midfield, which is unusual.
DSG pushing forward. Kings are defending deep. Not a quick start, kind of slow, steady start from DSG. They're quite happy as we thought, just to try and calm things down. Changing channels onto the left-hand channel. That's a good start from DSG, isn't it? Kings would turn it around, but I think they've also gone on the side, so DSG retain the attack.
Chelsea Leonard on the ball at the moment, just offloaded to, is that Torva again, if I'm not mistaken. Kings would have taken possession back of the game and have a chance to come out of their 25, which I think they would be quite relieved to do at this point.
So Kings would happy to soak up the pressure of those, just a minute and a bit there. But a good start from DSG. But I think equally Kings would quite happy just to settle things down with an outlet. As we spoke about, Dave, it looks like a very high press. And this is going to be trick. So Nanti Banyana is the key there. Go-to player for the pass. Been robbed, but illegally so. That's a very good little moment there we saw there, David. That says a lot about the game and how DSG are going to play and the challenge that a kicker is going to face.
I I agree with you 100%. High press, but
And there's that area we spoke about.
yeah, and we also early on there we saw the electric potential of Zanati to just carry through 3 or 4 players up at the top. Here we have Enya Kemp on the ball, just been dispossessed by
Good tackle.
Taya. It's good tackle, turned over.
The
Chelsea
DSG
Leonard
again,
going
great
forward and
pass.
into the circle. Kelly Hobson on the ball, winning a short corner. No,
Hit just
a head
outside there. Take it quickly. All read by Kingswood, I think.
DSG certainly putting the pressure on here early, and that's already a couple of circle entries. Kingswood doing well.
Yeah, the Kingswood defence doing well. I've put a bit of markers on them in the sense I think they might struggle a bit, but they've so far so good. They've done well. That's my worry. There's a bit of easy turnover there, under a bit of pressure. Again, what that means is DSG straight back on the attack.
Here we have Daisy Dixie over the ball.
Great play as well, isn't it?
Yeah, no, sorry, I lied. It's Daisy Dixie who's just passed the ball up to outside half.
Dixie, one of the better defenders around in the country at the moment.
If quoting Chris Hibbert, he thinks probably one of the best central defenders he's ever had the privilege to work with. Just become the complete player, cool, calm, collected, able to throw pretty good overhead and an incredible eye for the ball defensively. He can just pick almost anything. So, yeah, really just such a strong player.
Another good attack there, Dave, from DSG, and Kingswood defence holding firm, but a lot of pressure being put onto the DSG defence right now. So far, so good for them again. They seem to be coping quite well.
Kingswood has certainly rallied the troops there. You'll see getting the numbers behind the balls and congesting channels, which is also going to make it more difficult for DSG going forward. Again, you can see the high press there near intercept.
They'll be looking for Zanati as much as possible to get out of that pressure.
And here we have Q on the ball again. You'll see an electric player with some awesome skills at reverse stick pass on the run.
She's a great player, isn't she, as well?
Just a great player. She's come to Kingswood from collegiate, so it's her first season with the side. And also just potential to be absolute game changer.
Yeah, Kingswood on attack for the first time. Just outside the D, a foot, and they're going to see her quickly take it. Oh, sorry, we got that wrong. I think DSG gets the blow. Outlet option straight away. And Gary Frayne is saying the DSG side and retreat the 5 metres from the aerial.
Always a difficult rule to interpret that one. But umpires struggle with it. I think Gary
It's the most
Frayne.
frustrating thing in the world, huh? It's the easiest rule in those, but why do I struggle with it?
Yeah, I think the girls are going to struggle with the understanding of the rule more than the umpires today.
Absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see how the aerial can shape the game today. I know that in the Pearson game for DSG versus Pearson, DSG was probably going to air a little too often in the game, which didn't give them the opportunity to get nice patterns of play.
I don't think there was much in this game. I think the position will be a little more important for them today, trying to keep possession of the ball. But Kings is on attack in the 23 at the moment. Not many players in the D for Kings at the moment, though, just the one.
Captain Kiana Daniels.
Exciting little player as well. I think she could easily get on the scorecard today. It's a 90 top D.
This is it. And
Oh, bit of a wasted chance there.
good advantage there from the umpire, letting her get it off. And just
DSG, the big
miss.
counter-attack straight away, looking for the early pass, and they're away. This is where you catch the Mills, the Qs. Zanati's out of position right now, and Kingswood may be a little bit more vulnerable. So hence you can see straight away the early attack of that outlet.
Enya Kemp again on the ball. Also a nice little player with some great hands. Kingswood contained it well, turned it over, but then just thrown it back to DSG. Not a zone you want to turn it back over.
That attack there from Kingswood, though, was exactly what we spoke about. Maybe a little bit wasteful from Zanati and Binyana, but potential's there. You can see the warning signs straight away. Yeah, remember the silly options she chose. Could have got maybe looking for a short corner, pull the ball into her front stick there, but yeah, the warning signs are there for the DSG defence as well.
Yeah, and you'll notice about Kingswood when they do go forward, they go forward quickly. That passage of play, as soon as they go, they carry to the circle, no questions asked. So they're certainly going to also put the DSG back four under a lot of pressure, certainly when they carry the ball at them.
Good for Kingswood just to get into the D, maybe get a little nerves off as well. Had a chance. Hopefully looking to maybe 1 or 2 more attacks in this chukker. 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, certainly the bulk of these first minutes have been in DSG's favour with possession. But here we go, Kingswood in the midfield, able to start going forward.
Bit of an easy turnover for DSG, but looks like Kingswood got it back. Good chance now is that Mills on the ball, crossing the 23-metre line. It's quite exciting.
Incredible reverse hit, and here we go.
She pulls the trigger. Oh, yeah, they've got a goal.
And it
looked like a mistake from the defence trying to trap it. Mills initially looked like she missed target, but the defenders touched, redirected the ball into the DSG goal. And that's exactly what we spoke about. Amy Mills, first time chance she's got, and she's on the scoreboard.
Yeah, an incredible player, able to, her ability to carry and create space on the reverse stick. Unusual for her not to put it on target, and DSG are going to not be happy with themselves with that one for turning a loose shot into a goal.
I did say we gave an early goal. I said it might be a DSG early goal, but the game is still going to increase just because of that, though. I think neither team now is going to calm down. I think the girls will be quite excited, and they're going to be lots of go forward hockey the next 5 minutes.
Here we go, and DSG on the attack again. Dookie on the ball, just turned it over. Not sure who we've got playing at left half there for Kingswood, but onto Q again, carrying through the midfield.
Great ball carrier, isn't she? I think that 2 goals in the midfield between Q and Zanati, I think it's going to be a handful for DSG as well. I would suggest that Kingswood may be bossing that area a little bit at the moment.
I think we called that. 2 good midfielders, but certainly Kings would probably have the more electric players. Great carry there, up into towards the circle. There we go.
Kings are a little bit slow to get back in defence.
Lots of space. Chelsea Leonard on the ball. And
that might be a short corner. No.
Good turn from Chelsea Leonard. Chelsea Leonard, also new to DSG. She's joined us from the Western Cape, come from Herschel, just in grade 10. Into the provincial under-16 A side, which is interestingly being coached by Chris.
Piercing ball to the D. A great chance for DSG there. Great ball from the midfield. Finding a strike, maybe a little bit too easy in front of the keeper. A great chance for DSG, goes begging past the left-hand post.
And that was Juju Rogan we spoke about earlier, the one who's able to get into good positions to get great touches, and there she was, just perfectly aligned on the P spot at the time.
Kingswood look beaten. Area option again. A good option out to the right midfield. They've done well to come back with it. They might get the hit. And a good go. There's a 19 million on the ball. And she's got a hit outside the D. She wants it. Attack kind of come out with nothing there, but Q wins the ball back for Kingswood, and she's carrying well into the 23 at the moment.
Great reverse stick pick there from Torva, who's come back.
Great defence.
And well stepped from Bridget Moldenhall there.
That's important, I think, for Kingswood defence to lift the game up like that.
That is a fantastic long ball down the line.
It's a pity the missed trap.
Well trapped there.
Yeah.
Unfortunate that. Great vision.
You can see straight away DSG look to counter quickly, try and catch the Kingswood players out of position. And that's going to be...
That's very well stepped there from Dookie. Yeah. Managed to get it onto the foot. And again, putting Kingswood under pressure.
De-entry or messy tackle. You could easily have given a short corner for that.
Inside the circle. There we go.
I think the foul was probably bad enough to give a short corner even if it was outside the circle.
Kingswood stuck in that, DSG stuck in that left corner, and Kingswood got...
Kingswood committed a lot of plays in that corner, haven't they, in defence? Maybe too many. I think the defence have done enough to clear it out there. And Daniels gets away with the ball up to the halfway line. On her own, though, she needs to hold that play a little bit, yeah?
Verse 5. It'll be interesting to see if they can make something of this.
I think
have turned it over.
King's a little bit slow to react to get numbers up to help Daniels there. Little battle in the midfield here again. Mills almost gets away with it.
So here we go, Daisy Dixie over the ball. Wouldn't be surprised if this goes to air. Here we go.
Looks like a good ball.
And not trapped and over the line for a 16-yard.
There's a lot of danger again at that aerial, finding space, finding a striker. I think Kings of defence again, we've said it a few times, going to have their hands full today.
It's good to see girls hockey using the ball to air, and effectively at the moment from both sides.
Dave, we spoke about how many of these girls are playing provincial hockey. I know Mark Tony's London is a very big component of Grahamstown. Is actually the headquarters of the FIH in the world. And if you look at the talent that's on display here today, you can see why people say things like that. I know Graham College is probably the pinnacle of hockey in Grahamstown. With Seth Tomac, they had a 17 side last 2 years ago as a grade 10. Let's take a look at Dave right, see if he bites out of it. DSG on another attack just outside D, and 16-yard outlet to Kingswood.
Not in reply to your dig there, but in reply to the comment about Grahamstown. Interestingly, a lot of hockey knowledge, a lot of good hockey coaches in town, and certainly for a little town, you wouldn't necessarily anticipate the level of hockey that comes from here. But numerous provincial players coming out of Grahamstown,
and in particular at girls' level, isn't it? It's incredible.
Particularly at a girls' level. I think the additions of your Bevan Bennett and your Chris Hibbert's imports into Grahamstown is started
Absolutely
to add to the level of hockey in town. Fantastic level of hockey. On this field alone, I think we're 12 Eastern Province players between the under 16 and under 18 A and B sides for the Eastern Province.
That's incredible, absolutely incredible. And so good for EP Hockey to have a hub like this. A little bit wasteful there again from Zanati Vignano. It's such an easy turnover, and those kind of things teams are going to have to figure out. It's going to hurt them if they turn the ball over that easily.
Oh, here we go, Enya as well, the electric player on the reverse. Got a great reverse. Not this time. So good turnover from her. Yeah, I agree with you there. We can't. Zanati is going to have to be careful turning that ball over in the midfield.
Well, such a talented, experienced player. Pretty harsh, but you expect a little bit more from her than that, I think.
And interesting that DSG, I think, on the moment, on the turnovers, are still playing a little bit narrow down the middle and not necessarily getting the ball out to the far right-hand channel. Whereas, as we spoke earlier, Bevan does like to get this ball wide.
I think that goal's given Kingswood a bit of confidence because they've got back into the game, and DSG have struggled just for the last 4 or 5 minutes or so, just to get that, the first 6-7 minutes, they were very fluid. Amy Mills on attack again. Top D pulls the trigger. I think this is coming off the back of the stick. But again, showing her potential there. You don't want to give her too much space top the D to pull trigger on the reverse stick, do you?
No, you definitely do not want to leave Amy Mills with any space on that reverse stick. It's certainly more comfortable on the reverse than she is on the forehand.
30 seconds left of the game, or the chucker. Aerial finds a little bit poor defence from Kingswood to let that aerial find the DSG midfielders.
Yeah, they should be reading that early. But again, Kingswood coming forward very positive, very strong.
Last 15 seconds, can DSG get an attack going yet?
Kingswood looking after it. Nice and composed at the back there.
They have been.
Through Bridget Moldenhall and that little transfer there opening up the game. But there we go, end of the first chucker. And Greg, you've called it an early goal, 1-0 to Kingswood.
1-0 Kingswood, and I think both teams playing pretty good hockey. I think coaches will be satisfied. I know Chris Hibbert will obviously be a bit worried about getting 1 goal down, but I think 3 chuckers left. I think we'll be too worried about it. Such a experienced coach, he'll be calming the goals down now, just getting them into the game. I still said there's going to be a lot more goals coming, so if that's right, 1 goal is not going to make any difference to this game, that's for sure. There's lots more to come.
Yeah, the game certainly isn't being played between the 25s. It's both sides are creating circle entries and opportunities to score goals. DSG probably slightly more circle entries. Kingswood maybe looking a little bit more dangerous when they are in the circles. So really, it's anyone's game still.
That first chucker, pretty indicative of the whole game. Yeah, DSG look a little more composed, but 1-0 to Kingswood says a lot about the Kingswood potential as well.
Yeah, Kingswood, and they've certainly proved it during the season, can score goals. Their defence is holding up really well. Numbers behind the ball is certainly their strategy. When DSG are in the defensive 11, in the Kingswood are defending, they've got all 11 behind the ball, so it is making it difficult.
Dave, I'm trying to get Amy Pote up there for a quick chat.
I think we've got to get some guest commentary up here if we can make that happen.
Just while Amy's on her way up here at the moment, just to give you a bit of background, Amy Pote probably probably one of the best schoolgirl hockey players I've ever seen in my life. At Kingswood 2 years ago, has gone on to play PHL, varsity cup hockey, and obviously Kingswood captain herself. So it'd be quite nice to have a chat to her.
Well, good to have Amy back. She was certainly a force to be reckoned with at the Kday. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to step away.
Amy, how are you going?
Very well, thanks. Good to be here.
Just built you up while Dave Wright just gets a cup of coffee quickly. We're just saying, we spoke big things about you, Amy. We just said you're one of the best schoolgirl hockey players ever come out of Grahamstown, playing PHL at the moment. Marty's Hockey, how's it going?
It's going really well. It's been a good 4 years out of school so far and really loving the hockey. It's cool. Yeah, Marty's is such a great environment to be in and really good hockey environment.
What do you think about that first checker there, Amy?
I was really impressed. The last time I was back was in my first year and I don't think we actually won Kday that year. So I'm really impressed with the girls. Obviously I'm rooting for Kingswood and first checker was good.
Good goal from Amy Mills there.
Oh wow, yeah. That was really good.
You teach her how to shot from the reverse stick top D. Don't give her any space there. Seen you score a few goals from there as well. What do you reckon Kingswood camps like now going into the second checker? They be more confident, happy?
I think so, yeah. The girls, they're stepping up, which is really good. Not really giving DSG much space, which is really cool.
Oh, great. Do you know much about the DSG side?
I actually don't. I don't think I know a player in there. I don't really know many girls on the Kingswood side either. I just know a couple of them are tricks because obviously they were grade 8s.
Pretty even game, one of the pretty more even Kday girls hockey matches we got. Someone was talking about maybe a 3-3 or a 4-4 result. What do you think about that?
I think there's definitely more goals to come, and I think if both teams keep playing like this, it's going to be an interesting game.
Absolutely. DSG started well again, the second chucker, anyone stand out for you in that first chucker? Having a great start of the match?
I was really impressed with Marty Vinyana. She's just such confidence and just such flow, which is really good to watch.
No, perfect. Amy, thanks for joining us. We've got Dave Wright coming back off his cup of coffee. Good to see you again. We'll see you a bit later.
Thank you.
Cheers, Amy. Welcome back, Dave.
Thanks. I just had my own chucker break there and have managed to get a cappuccino to power me through. I'm
Thanks, Dave. Hope you enjoy that. Yeah.
Maybe it's a sharing cappuccino. It's already been quite a busy morning for me. I've managed to umpire the second team game and helped out some administration. So it's been my first coffee of the day.
1.5 minutes into the second chuck, I see they're actually letting everyone in here at the moment. They even let Alan Redfern into the grounds, which is interesting. How did that happen there?
He definitely has stolen a VIP sticker from somebody.
Definitely. So we got DSU with an outlet. Scrappy's maybe started the chucker. Miss aerial pass, but it's found the Kingswood defence. Kingswood on attack now, 23. Easily cut out by DSG though.
DSG numbers behind.
No,
the ball
double
there.
turnover. Back in attack.
Can't tell a lie here, Greg. This cameraman and Paul are making it very difficult to add to your insightful commentary.
I'll continue the far corner, Dave.
Great distribution there out the midfield and into the corner. This has actually opened up the game a little bit. Wasn't not sure it was necessarily a planned pass. Got Juju on the baseline and turning over the ball with the hit to air.
Yeah, and we spoke about it a little bit too much in maybe the first checker, but this is the outlet option here to Kingswood again. They'll be under massive pressure from DSG, and let's see what they come up with here.
I think it looks like DSG has maybe just dropped out the press a little bit and anticipating the ball going to air. I think that might be the case, but
Kingswood done well there, but a bit of a soft turnover. Looks like a good aerial to find the midfielder. I know Chris will probably want to make sure that those balls done. That was a great ball. DSG on attack top D. Kingswood do well to
come over
there.
Carry in there, but Kingswood have done well to shut that down and not give away a corner there. It looked like 3 players all diving in to try to save the day.
The tackling has been good. Marking has been good from Kingswood. Just the distribution, I think that's my concern in the back four. And I think they're going to be tested a few times today. I think so. Let's see how they go. Speaking of which, left half on the ball right now. Got an outlet option.
Rolling it out to Q. Q certainly got the hands to get this out, but done well to roll it out the back there again. But DSG pressing high and aggressively.
I was just having I think if I was Chris Hibbert there, Yeah. Would you maybe want to try and look to eliminate those passes into midfield, maybe front marking Zanati and Q, and see what the back four do then without those pass options available? Was it a bit risky to front mark in midfield?
Probably a little risky to front mark them. PSG into the circle, creating opportunities, and usually they, I think, just pushing on the back a little too hard on the defender.
Been impressed with the Kings' defence so far. They seem to be coping well.
Yeah. There's no doubt that this Kingswood back four have come a long way since the start of the season. They really are a much more organised unit. And defending well.
Well, there's the first interception from the strikers.
See Kelly Hobson, great ball.
That's a great chance. Just past the right end post.
Torvik just smashes it. Really unlucky not to get that in.
But
Great
Dave, that's
distribution.
exactly what the big concern I have is turnover the back four straight to the DSG striker, and as a result of the chance where DSG probably kicked themselves, they didn't put it away.
Definitely, really great pass across the top of the circle there from Kelly Hobson as well to pass it to Torvik with a massive amount of space. Is this gonna make the back four a little bit shaky now? Be interesting to see.
I think Zanati dropping deep and receives the ball.
Midfield can't afford to give her any space to run because that's what she's going to do, just tear down
That's
the
a
middle.
great run from Zanati. She's released it and a bit of space, Kings on attack.
Nina Owen-Jones, rock solid tidying up. Loose ball out and a missed trap.
I still think there must be a bit of, if Zanati and Q are going to have such a big influence on the outlets as they did there, I think Chris is going to have to look at maybe cutting that option out because they're on the attack now into 23, into the top D. Daniels on the ball. Play on. Just missing the ball, pulling a defender's stick and losing possession.
Yeah, I think that's the real strength there. Q and Zanati just able to really carry a ball through, even through very congested spaces.
Kings are the win the aerial this time. You called it earlier. They have more aerial passes than I thought from DSG. Harmless ball through the D. DSG with the outlet. Let's see what they do here. Looking forward straight away again, carrying. Big hit down the middle of the field, looking for a striker.
Hit from Daisy, and it looks like off a Kingswood stick.
Come off a Kingswood stick, yep.
Kingswood right up in the right-hand corner.
Good opportunity for DSG, yeah.
It's nice to see her just change the tactic there a little bit and actually have a hit at one of those.
Yeah, it was getting a little bit predictable there, wasn't it?
It was getting a little predictable.
Good chance to attack, yeah.
We turn that into a long corner, I think.
Yeah.
Chelsea Leonard on the ball, really just a very solid play on this one.
Kings are coming back in defence, defending quite deep here. They won the ball, so release a little bit of pressure there for Kingswood. Difficult spot this to get the ball out of. Straight away DSG have pressed high into that corner. Aerial pass.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great ball to top D again.
On the reverse, Enya fires it off.
She got it?
It's a goal.
That's a goal, 1-1.
Well done.
That pass to top D, clinical. We've set up that goal, I think.
So there's my prediction. The 1-1. Is it going to be goalless from here on?
I'm afraid not, Dave Wright. I'm afraid not.
But again, that's echoed your concerns around a turnover from not a fantastic aerial out the back.
Yeah.
And DSG just jumping on the opportunity.
A little bit slow to mark top D to react to the fact that they turned it over. And a great pass to top D to set up a good goal.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Enya Kemp who managed to fire it off, and as comfortable as Amy Mills is on the reverse as is Enya Kemp.
Q linking up with Zanati again. Look how dangerous they look. Great hockey players. Zanati in the D now, looking to maybe win a corner in the corner. Put it in the corner, should I say, in the corner. Trying to beat the defenders, and they've got a shorty, I think. No. Looks like they came off a foot. Oh, there we go. The umpires just discussed with each other. Then Gary Frayne gives Kings the shorty, the first shorty of the game.
It is the first shorty of the game. It'll be interesting to see what Kingswood does with this. Yeah, again, you can see Zanati just. I have to come and stand behind you. I think. You can see Zanati carrying a lot of ball and creating opportunities. if Bevan doesn't roll her though during the game, she is going to run out of legs come the fourth quarter. The amount of ball carrying that she's already done.
Flu, and that's which is a lot of talk about that. So Kings are taking their time here. I see they're not stopping the clock for short corners in this particular game. So yeah, umpires just rushing them on to see what they come up with here.
So here we go. We've got Q on the push.
Not too many options.
It's Robin Koch stopping, and we've got Amy lining up. Certainly suggests she's looking for a drag flick.
Bit of a slow injection. Mills at the flick. It's a Kingswood defender. Question asked though, looked like it was on target. Good short corner from Mills.
Yeah, good short corner from Mills. She's done well for a slow injection.
Yeah.
A little concerning from DSG that they weren't out quicker given the speed of the given the speed of that injection.
I've seen Mills seem to have a bit of time on top of the D there.
She did. She had a stack of time to get that away. There we go. Dookie receiving the ball behind the defenders with a bit of space.
So the error from defence. Check the marking here. Open DSG player top D, then get the ball to her.
And turned over. Kingswood defending again. There's no doubt that the back four of Kingswood have got their work cut out for them today.
The goals liven up the crowd again. The DSG crowd again stuck into the game properly, which is great. What a great atmosphere we've got here today, Dave.
Yeah, the DSG crowd are very excited. I know they've got a spell lined up for half-time, so I'm sure there's a bit of prep happening for that at the moment. They've also got a new drum, which they are super excited about. That arrived on Thursday morning, so...
initiate that today?
We made sure that they had the accompaniment there. So, yeah, a lot of excitement in the DSG crowd. That's the crowd we can see here at the moment.
In the meantime, Mignona crosses the 23, looking dangerous as ever.
And carrying and creating, she's again electric.
Slicing the DSG defence up, and I thought she might have won a short corner there, just lost control of the ball. But DSG still under a bit of pressure. It's actually, in fact, it's Kingswood ball. I think she's got a hit just outside the D, fraction outside the D. DSG haven't dropped to defend. Oh, lucky to not be awarded a short corner there, I think. Dangerous ball into the D. Kingswood on a slap shot, but just wide. So great attacking opportunity there for Kingswood. Chance begging, just going just wide. DSG up the aerial outlet to relieve a bit of pressure. And they've got all the way to the Kingswood 23, although the Kingswood have the ball.
Good composure there from the right back at Kingswood. Just dumping backwards. And Bridget Mildenhall. Oh, great skills to bring it out.
But she's got out of it nicely, hasn't she? Still carrying. Oh, a bit of a silly pass there. Just did all the hard work and then lost the pass at the last moment.
Nina Owen-Jones, nice and calm, just dropping it backwards. Oh.
Big moment, yeah. Q in the ball for Kingswood, pushing forward over the halfway line.
Meg on the outside. This girl is fast. She's can carry a ball.
It's a good angled run that, and she's got a hit just outside the D. Great counter attack by Kingswood there. Good pass to Q.
Yeah, and Kingswood well drilled.
Oh, has she got a short corner? No. Kingswood look dangerous going forward, don't they, Dave?
They're very dangerous, and they react really quickly when it is their free hit, balls down and live. So if DSG don't have their A game on, they're going to get turned over again quick.
Such strong ball carriers. I think we've seen the Kingswood midfield really burning on the counter-attacks and asking a lot of questions of the DSG defence. On the way now as well. Q straight to Megan Dupree again, combining well on the left-hand side. Oh, unlucky. Good pass. Goes begging to the middle of the park.
Good little interplay there. Girls did well to hold on to possession there. Great back foot offload there to Enya with lots of space again. And good again, Enya on the reverse. Oh, she turns. Has she created the opportunity?
Or does that come off?
Certainly put the keeper under pressure. Glove is off. And the umpire's given it a hit to Kingswood.
Kingswood, choosing not to get too many numbers back in defence. There's 4 or 5 players that have held up, looking to turn the ball counter, but it's an interesting call. I don't know. I think they're trying to get numbers back and help defend there.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seemed like their strategy early in the game was numbers back, and they've moved away from that and are trying to stretch this field to open up DSG a little bit. Again,
maybe indicative of how the coaches play. Bevan Bevan's slightly different. You can see he's looking to turn the ball over and get numbers forward and attack and score more goals.
And that also might be a reflection of some of their interesting results during the season. Scores like 7-2, which is often unheard of.
They'll score more goals than you will.
Ball just rolling down into Kingswood defence, giving everyone a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds just to have a little breather there. You can see Chris Hibbert on the side really rolling his players. He really is good at just leaving players on for 4 or 5 minute spells to try and get the most out of them. Could be telling come the last chapter of this
I agree.
game.
We're a bit of like a Bergwijn warmish conditions, don't we? And I think that's going to, this dry kind of wind is definitely going to take a bit out of the players.
Kingswood moving the ball really well around the back here to come out. But Kingswood moving the defence across well and shutting it down. But turned back over, and here we have Kingswood attacking just outside the 25.
Daniels leads well to get the ball. She's got it. Was a great opportunity for Kingswood. Just couldn't get a hold of it. Again, it almost looks like every time Kingswood get the ball, it looks like they're trying to create something and something dangerous. But the interesting thing, I think DSG doing the same on the other side of the field. So definitely a battle between goals here today, I think.
And 1-1 is definitely a reflection of the game at the moment. It really
so.
is an even game.